What do the American Revolution, the birth of Labor Day, and a spacecraft leaving our solar system all have in common? They all happened on September 5th, a day packed with world-shifting moments. Welcome to Sentiva of Time, where we uncover the unexpected turning points that shaped our past. Before independence was even on the table, 12 colonies took a stand together. Could this have been the real birth of America? Kicking off our list at number 10, we go back to the very dawn of the United States. On September 5th, 1774, delegates from 12 of the 13 American colonies gathered in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. They were there to discuss a unified response to the British government's punitive, intolerable acts. This wasn't a call for independence, not yet. The delegates were seeking to petition King George III for a redress of grievances and to establish a boycott of British goods. This first gathering, however, was a crucial step toward American unity. By coming together, the colonies demonstrated a shared identity and a willingness to act collectively against what they saw as tyranny. The First Continental Congress laid the groundwork for the Second Congress, which would eventually declare independence, making this day a foundational moment in American history. 3 small nations, still in exile during World War II, dared to dream of unity. How did this vision help shape today's Europe? Our number 9 event takes place during the closing days of World War II. On September 5th, 1944, the governments in exile of Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg signed a customs union treaty in London. This agreement created Benelux, a political and economic union that would become a cornerstone of European integration. The name Benelux comes from the first few letters of each country. The union's goal was to create free movement of goods, capital, and labor between the member states. It was a forward-thinking plan for a continent still ravaged by war. This small union was a big idea. It demonstrated that former adversaries and neighbors could unite for a common economic purpose. Benelux was a pioneering example of international cooperation and served as a blueprint for the later formation of the European Union, making this day a key moment in the history of modern Europe. It was meant to study the outer planets, but ended up leaving our solar system forever. How far can human ambition really go? Our number 8 event takes us beyond Earth's atmosphere. On September 5th, 1977, NASA launched the Voyager 1 spacecraft from Cape Canaveral, Florida. Its mission was to study the outer planets of our solar system, but it would go on to do so much more. Voyager 1 provided stunning images and invaluable data about Jupiter and Saturn, but its most incredible achievement came much later. In 2012, it became the first human-made object to enter interstellar space, a cosmic achievement of epic proportions. In just 5 hours, John Glenn rewrote history. What did 3 trips around the Earth mean for the space race? At number 7, we celebrate a monumental achievement in human history and the space race. On September 5th, 1962, NASA's Friendship 7 spacecraft, carrying astronaut John Glenn, was launched into orbit, making him the first American to orbit the Earth. Glenn circled the Earth 3 times, completing his historic mission in just under 5 hours. His successful flight marked a crucial step forward for the United States in the space race against Russia and proved the feasibility of human orbital spaceflight. John Glenn's journey was not just a scientific triumph, it was a moment that captivated the entire nation. His words from space, his safe return, and the ticker tape parade that followed cemented his status as a national hero and an icon of exploration and courage. 8 nuclear reactors, unlimited range, one ship that changed naval power forever, what made the USS Enterprise so legendary. At number 6, we have a moment of naval history. On September 5th, 1962, the world's first nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, the USS Enterprise, was commissioned into the United States Navy. The Enterprise was a revolutionary vessel. Its 8 nuclear reactors allowed it to operate for years without refueling, giving it unprecedented range and speed. It was a technological marvel, a symbol of American naval might, and a preview of the future of maritime warfare. This day marked a new chapter in naval history. The Enterprise, affectionately known as Big E, would go on to serve for over 50 years, from the Cuban Missile Crisis to the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Its commissioning on this day was a declaration that the nuclear age had arrived at sea. Fresh from revolution, Texas needed a leader. Why did the people turn to a battle-hardened hero? Our 5th event is a defining moment in the history of the Lone Star State. On September 5, 1836, following its successful war for independence from Mexico, the Republic of Texas held its first-ever presidential election. Sam Houston, a military hero and a key figure in the Revolution, was elected as the first president. Houston's victory was a resounding endorsement of his leadership. The people of Texas had also voted to approve a constitution and overwhelmingly supported the idea of being annexed by the United States. This day marked the formal establishment of the Republic of Texas as a sovereign nation. Houston's presidency began the difficult process of building a new country, navigating its relationship with Mexico and the United States, and setting the course for Texas to eventually become the 28th state.
10,000 workers gave up their pay for one day.
10,000 workers gave up their pay for one day. How did one march spark a nationwide movement for workers' rights? At number 4, we have a milestone for the American worker. On September 5th, 1882, the first-ever Labor Day parade marched through the streets of New York City. 10,000 workers took a day off without pay to participate in a demonstration demanding fair wages, reasonable hours, and better working conditions. Organized by the Central Labor Union, this parade was a bold statement. It brought national attention to the plight of workers during the Industrial Revolution and sparked a movement that would spread across the country. It was a day of solidarity, showing the power and unity of the working class. This event laid the groundwork for the federal holiday we celebrate today. It was a crucial step in the fight for workers' rights and a permanent reminder of the sacrifices made to secure a fair and just workplace. This single parade was the birth of a new era for American labor. A handshake brokered by Theodore Roosevelt ended a brutal war. How did this peace deal reshape the balance of world power? Our number 3 event marks a triumph of diplomacy over conflict. On September 5, 1905, in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt mediated peace negotiations between Russia and Japan, bringing an end to the Russo-Japanese War and reshaping global power dynamics. The treaty granted Japan control over Korea and parts of Manchuria, while Russia withdrew its claims, efforts that earned Roosevelt the 1906 Nobel Peace Prize and marked the emergence of Japan as a rising global power. The signing on this day stands as a testament to the power of negotiation. It demonstrates how skilled diplomacy can restore peace and alter the course of nations, an inspiring legacy of statesmanship that echoes into our time. She dedicated her life to the poorest of the poor. How does her mission still touch millions today? At number 2, we turn to a day of great loss, but also of a legacy of profound compassion. On September 5, 1997, Mother Teresa, the Nobel Peace Prize-winning nun and founder of the Missionaries of Charity, died at the age of 87 in Calcutta, India. Mother Teresa had dedicated her life to caring for the poorest of the poor, the sick and the dying. Her work was a beacon of hope for millions, and she became a global symbol of selfless charity. Her death was mourned by world leaders and ordinary people alike. This day marked the end of a remarkable life, but not the end of her work. Her Missionaries of Charity continues its mission today, serving the needy in dozens of countries. Mother Teresa's passing on this day reminded the world of the power of faith and the enduring impact of a life dedicated to service. One gun, one click, but no shot fired. How did a split-second decision change American political history? Our top historical event on September 5th is a harrowing moment in American political history. On this day in 1975, a woman named Lynetta Squeaky Fromm, a follower of Charles Manson, attempted to assassinate President Gerald Ford in Sacramento, California. The attempt was foiled by a quick-thinking Secret Service agent. The gun, which Fromm pointed at the president, did not fire. The moment was caught on camera, and it sent a shockwave across the nation, reminding people of the fragility of political stability. This day marked a stark reminder that even a president of the United States is not safe from violence. It also highlighted the dedication of the Secret Service. The incident and a second attempt on his life just weeks later defined a tumultuous period in American history, just a few years after the Kennedy assassination. Who knew one day could hold so much history? From fiery beginnings to peaceful resolutions, September 5th reminds us that history never sleeps. But which of these events surprised you the most, or did we miss one you'd include? Tell us in the comments below. We're listening.